everyone, welcome to Chalchitra Talks. मेरा नाम वाणी है and in this video, I want to talk to you about 5 worst mistakes that I have been making when it comes to reading. I discovered this quite recently when I realized I'm not enjoying the process of reading as much as I once used to. But before I get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to this website that I've been using quite recently for all my research, and it has worked wonders for me. It's called Get Inspo, and it's basically a search engine for inspiration. So, for example, you're working with a keyword, say books in my case. I enter the keyword, and the website generates all the information, all the thoughts that there are around books. And it basically helps me accumulate and create better research. And there is also AI generated thought bubble, which I have been using quite a lot, which is very interesting, to be honest. All you need to do is go to the website, getinspo.co, sign up and start using it right away. We've included the link to the website, to their Instagram handle in the description box below. Do check it out. It will actually do wonders for your creativity. Coming back to the video, quite recently I realized I haven't been reading as actively as I once used to do. And one day I sat down to actually write down the mistakes that I've been making, and there are quite a few. So the first mistake that I have been making, and which I have now corrected, and I've started noticing the difference in just a day, is compartmentalizing your books for different corners of your house. Now, there is a book that we recommend a lot on the channel, and if you're a regular, you'll know. It's Tools of Titan. In one of the chapters, a guest tells Tim Ferriss that discipline is freedom. And people who say that, I like to be a free-flowing energy because I don't like to be bounded by a routine, they're doing it wrong, because the stronger routine you have, the better you can fit in and accommodate things that take up a lot of time otherwise. When you discipline yourself when it comes to reading, you will actually know that you're making progress every day. So initially, I used to read 30 minutes before going to bed at least, and 30 minutes once I wake up. And in the past few months, I kind of lost track of it, and I started replacing that time with extra sleep / a TV show or a movie. And I realized I haven't been reading as much. Ever since I've went back to that discipline of allocating a time to reading every day, I've started noticing the difference, and I have been making progress every day. But the bottom line is discipline yourself when it comes to reading. Make a routine and stick to it. If you think you're going to read every day for 30 minutes, set time for those 30 minutes. Will it be after your lunch? Will it be before breakfast? Will it be after dinner, before you go to bed? Just allot time for reading. Because even though it's an activity that you really enjoy, but everything needs its own time and space. I also noticed that compartmentalizing books really helps. So a lot of people ask me, how do I read a lot of books at the same time? I actually have a book for before I go to bed or in my bed. If I am getting ready, if it's the morning time, if I'm walking around working on this desk, I have a separate book for here. There is another book which is for a third corner of the room, and there are fixed times for when I sit in those corners. So that really helps. Start compartmentalizing your books, and you will realize you can read more than one book at the same time and make progress while you're at it. The second mistake that I have been making, not anymore, but I think a lot of people still make it. They pick up a book and they start reading it. They do not define the purpose of reading a book. Sometimes when the book is actually really nice, say fiction, you actually get carried away and you start reading more and more, and it always works. But sometimes you do not define the purpose of reading. Are you reading because you want to gain more knowledge? Are you reading because you want to discover a certain truth or emotion? Are you reading it for comfort? Because it will always help you put down the book, which is the third point. I do not know how to put down a book. And this is something that I've started working on, but I've noticed people struggle with it too. Sometimes you're just not ready for the book, or sometimes the book is actually not that nice and it just doesn't fit what we're looking for. So once you have a definitive purpose, it'll make it easy for you to put down the book, and in other cases, it will also help you finish a book. The fourth mistake that I think everyone makes is that we're not very flexible. Sometimes it's related to the kind of books we pick up, and sometimes it's related to the type of books we pick up. Some of us are more comfortable with ebooks than paperback books, or say audiobooks. And I think as long as you're reading, as long as you're learning something, it all fits the bill. So do not limit yourself by deciding that you'll only read, say, paperbacks or audiobooks. or just ebooks. Ever since I've started reading more ebooks, my reading has increased. And be flexible when it comes to picking books. If you stick to the kind of category you're always comfortable with, there won't be a lot of growth for you in terms of reading. The fifth mistake that I have been making, and it I think was the biggest mistake of all time, was that I was constantly reading under pressure. There was this pressure to finish the book. There was this pressure to read this book because everyone else is reading it. And I want to come across as someone who's very smart. So I started picking up books under pressure that kind of made me forget why I liked reading or what I actually liked reading. The sooner you identify what you're comfortable with, you'll know how to work with books in rotation. If you pick up something right now that is very challenging, so say if a business book is not something that you really enjoy reading, but you have to pick it up, always do it in rotation. The next book that you pick up can be something that you actually like and enjoy, so that you always remember why you enjoy reading. I recently have started reading books in rotation. Like one of the books that I'm reading at the moment is a nonfiction, and I particularly face a lot of problem when it comes to nonfiction. So I am also reading a historical fiction as we go along, because historical fiction is something that I particularly enjoy. And I'm also doing some poetry because poetry really relaxes me. So these are the kind of books that I'm reading at the moment, and I'm trying to not read under pressure, which has really helped me. So these were the 5 mistakes that I was making, and I'm slowly working really hard to not repeat them and to improve upon them. So let me know if you liked this video, if this video was helpful. And before I go, I also want to remind you that you can support us if you like our work. You can become a patron or become a member of our YouTube community. We have carefully divided our patrons into 3 different categories: Goodfellas, Gladiators, and Godfathers. Godfathers are at the top, and they get access to 6 different groups that are dedicated to movies, music, books, sports, and also science. They also get invited to our quizzes that happen every week. They get invites to our streams and so on. We treat them like literal godfathers. We have monthly town hall sessions with them. So if you like our work, do support us if you can. Become a patron, and we'll be very grateful. And I hope this video really helped you guys, and let me know what kind of mistakes you make, and I'll be back with another recommendation for you in my next episode.